Hi, everybody. Thank you and welcome to the Buddy Song Special. Just a couple of notes here. Everybody, I think you guys are pretty all well-versed in Zoom by now, so if you could keep yourselves muted during the performances and everything else, that will help with anything else coming in. And obviously there's a chat, so for those of you that may not know, or there's a bottom right-hand side, I believe, or at the bottom of your key space, please enter in just, whatever it is you want, or if you have suggestions for us or anything like that, feel free to communicate. And other than that, I'm ready to bring in the man of my dreams, Mr. Chesney Hawkes.
Hello, welcome. Thank you, Chrissy. I'm glad I'm still the man of your dreams. I am so excited today. This is something I've wanted to do for a while now. It's hard to believe that it's been 29 years since the film was released, over 30 since we filmed it. Whilst watching the movie the other day for the first time in probably, at least 20 years, this time with my kids who had never seen it, I looked over at my son Casey and I realised that he is now older than I was when I made the film, which is pretty mental. And when I think about that, I was kind of emotional watching the film, to be honest with you, for many reasons. I mean, it makes me understand how little I knew back then, and that I was just a kid, and what a life-changing, monumental experience it was, being involved with something like that at such a young age. And as it turns out, quite a defining moment for me, as it obviously set a course for, the rest of my life. I'm still singing these songs now, and proud of it too. I met my best friend on set. I was 18 years old, filming at Pinewood Studios, recording at Abbey Road Studios. And I think at the time, I probably took a little bit of that for granted, not thoroughly understanding the kind of gravity of it all. But looking back now, I'm really grateful for the ride. It was, it was something else. My daughter Jessie wasn't too pleased with the sex scene. Not that it was anything like normal people, thank goodness. But, if it was, she probably would have disowned me, to be honest. I wouldn't have let us watch it. So watching the film, I looked at that very young version of myself. And he had absolutely no idea, what was about to happen. When I made the film, I was still an ordinary boy, as it were. See what I did there? Who could, go to the cinema or the pub or the shops, totally unnoticed, and all the stuff you have when you're a kid. But then, of course, my world took a huge 180-degree turn very soon after the film was released. It is what I always wanted, to be a successful musician, but with most people that gain fame at such a young age, it never quite turns out exactly as you'd expect. So I guess really, I would love to be able to whisper a bit of advice to my 17-year-old self. I don't know what I would say. I guess don't take any of the craziness seriously, trust your instincts, trust your gut, and no matter what, follow through with your gut feelings. I know I was young, but I think I had those instincts then, as we all do carry on through our lives. Because one day you'll look back at all this, like I am today, and know that the most important things in life are how you feel about yourself and what you know to be true in your heart. I mean, I guess that comes with experience in life, when you've loved and lost, like Frank. Of course, it is all about love and family and your friends and your dogs. Where's Mischief? He's in the wrong room. I normally have Mischief over here. I will introduce you to him in a minute. So here's the question I want to put in the chat for you guys. What piece of advice would you give your 17-year-old self? If you put that in the chat, Hi. Then Chrissy can read out a few. Go on, let's give it a time while I grab Mischief and introduce you to him. Hang on. He's here, Chris. He was hiding. Say hi, Mischief. Hey, hi. You gonna sing to us? Say, oh. There's my boy. Okay, Chris, what do we have? Come, I haven't got my glasses on, so I can't read it.
Don't care so much what people think. Just be yourself. Don't worry so much about what other people may think. Everybody's saying, hi, Mischief. Never believe the word of a bloke. That's a good one. Live in the moment. Don't use too much hairspray. Never take yourself too seriously.
Don't use too much hairspray, especially around fire.
Yeah, have more confidence. Don't get that mullet. Listen to your heart and be brave.
Get that mullet. They're all great. I feel a theme coming through this show already. Definitely over 15 years now. It might even be more, amazingly. It costs over £2.6 million a year to run their services, and these costs are not fully met by statutory funding, so they rely on voluntary donations, hence why I want to support them here tonight. So here's a little video introduction of the place. Lovely. So let me introduce you to our first guest tonight, Mike Hay, Head of Fundraising and Marketing for the White Lodge Centre. Welcome, Mike. Are you there, mate? There you go.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Can you hear me now?
I can, yes. Yes. Evening, everyone.
So happy to have you here, mate. Tell me, or tell us, what's the one thing we should know about the White Lodge Centre, maybe that we don't know?
I think it's difficult to summarise it in one thing because we do so much for so many different people. So, you know, preschool children right through to quite elderly adults. I think the one thing is, it's about our motto is enabling ability. So no matter what your situation, what your challenge is, we take a very positive approach to everything we do, treat everyone equally. And that's kind of the world we want to live in, isn't it? So, I say whatever the disability, we are there to enable people. And and we've been doing it and it keeps growing year on year.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I've been around for a long time, even before you were there, in fact, and it really has grown, and so has the price tag, of course.
Yes, that never goes away. It's like painting the full bridge.
How have you managed to keep providing these services through these strange times we're living through?
Yeah, good question. I think it was a bit like everyone. It was a bit of a shock to us. Initially, we had to suspend services. But then we learned that actually the risk of not providing services to some people was far greater than not admitting them. You know, such are people's challenges, especially to some families who, you know, are supporting kids with some, you know, very challenging behaviours. So we kind of, after a couple of weeks, we opened up our services, and there's such amazing staff that we're able to adapt. Learn new skills, learn all about Zoom, which we're all learning. So it's providing a limited service initially to some children, some teenagers, and also offering remote services to adults, whether that is through therapy, getting them working on their physio and fitness, or just giving them company.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it's growing, and you know, next week actually it grows even more. We've got more people coming into White Lodge, and obviously we do a lot of work to make it COVID proof. But we're confident that we can, you know, provide the services that people need and keep everyone safe. So, you know, hats off to the whole team. They've been amazing, really.
That's wonderful. Are you able to do the mini marathon this year? This is an event that I love. It's one of my favourite events.
No. Well, it's not to say we won't do it. But yeah, we always do.
Explain what it is a little to everyone here, because it's so wonderful. I've been there. I've been to probably about 10 of them. It's just so great.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, we always have a team that enters the London Marathon every year, and obviously people with disability don't get that opportunity. So we've got a very specialist nursery made up of preschool children that come to nursery and also come to get physiotherapy as well. So we do this marathon, and White Lodge, we've got corridors which go round and round, and the children wear our White Lodge t-shirts. They go around with collecting boxes, and the corridors are lined with people, and we get someone like Chesney who'll come along, and it doesn't matter how they do it. They can walk it, they can wheel it, they can push it, they can hop it, doesn't matter. And you get some kids with big smiles on their face because they're made to feel very special. And literally, all us adults just fill their collecting cans with lots of money. It's brilliant.
I've done it with Bernard Cribbins a few times, who's another patron of the White Lodge Centre. Well, Mike, thank you so much for being here. I know it's really wonderful to be able to, you know, bring the White Lodge, you know, to the forefront, and it's such a wonderful organisation. I've always loved it, and it's one of those places that I defy anyone to visit to not want to help, you know, because it's just an incredible place. It really is.
We're always open. We welcome visitors to show what we do. So
yeah, absolutely. And if you're in the area, please, call in and see them. And for the rest of you, the website is whitelodgecentre.co.uk.
Brilliant. Thanks, Chesney.
All right, thank you so much, Mike.
Cheers.
You take care. Okay, guys, shall we kick off the music with the second single from the soundtrack? The boys and I have been working hard this week to bring you something really special. This song was requested by Jeff Pond and a few other people as well. I wanted to give a nod to Jeff's very heartfelt email. Thank you, Jeff. This is Man Not a Boy.
You said the words and I'll obey until I feel like I will overload. You make the rules, but soon I will be on my own. Now I made up my own mind. You better think about it, now I'm free. This moment I'm listening just to me now. Every day when you treat me like a kid, I'm not your little boy, not your little toy. Every day when you treat me like a kid, I'm not your little boy, not your little toy. I'm a man and not a boy. I'm a man and not a boy. I'm a man, not a boy.
Thank you, thank you. Oh, that's lovely. I'm just going to put my... There you go. So, okay, thank you. I'm just going to move straight on into another song, actually. I always had a soft spot for this song, and I've since kind of reworked it. If I can get this capo on, hang on. I think this is actually a ukulele capo, so it covers some of the strings. And there's a line in the film when I'm performing it in the studio, and Roger's character turns to someone in the studio and says, "That's more like it. Sounds like an oldie." That's my best Roger Daltrey impression. So this song was requested by Leslie and by Joe, and I'm going to do this one for Nigel because he likes my new rework. At the end of the day, when I know that I'm gonna meet you, my heart just can't wait. So it races as fast as my feet do. At the very moment I take your hand, and the moment we touch, wanna tell you how much I care, but I almost can't speak, 'cause I love you too much. Ordinary girl, it's an ordinary world we live in, but you make it special every day. Ordinary girl is something precious that you're giving. This ordinary guy is proud to say, I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love with an ordinary girl. Nothing has changed, just familiar things all around me, but nothing's the same. I see with new eyes since you found me, even the way that the wind blows cold as we're walking at night. I just have to hold you close. You make everything good, you make everything right. Ordinary girl, it's an ordinary world we live in, but you make it special every day. Ordinary girl, it's something precious that you're giving. This ordinary guy is proud to say, I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love with an ordinary girl, an ordinary girl, an ordinary girl. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. Now, before me, there were two other buddies. Wayne Goddard, who played Buddy in the TV series, and the fabulous Bob Golding, who played Buddy on stage. I managed to track down Bob on a canal boat somewhere in St Albans. Are you there, Bob?
Hello, mate. Can you hear me?
Hey. Bobby.
Yeah. I'm just swiping across at all the people here. Everyone's got very deep rooms, you know, and I'm on a boat, so it's just like me in a wall, because like 6 foot in front of me is another wall. But it's okay.
Yeah. But you look fabulous. You know, it's a nice set you got there.
Thank you, darling. And you do too.
I expect nothing less, of course. Now, Bob, obviously I know why you got the part. I have it on good authority that you are the best dame in the business. There you go. There it is. There.
Yeah.
You see.
never knowingly underplayed. What can I say?
No, exactly. One day you're going to there you are, playing Buddy. Now tell
Yeah.
me, and how did Buddy fit into your career? I mean, how did he affect you? Like, did he affect you like he affected me?
Well, yeah, I guess so, because it was quite early in my career, as it was with you. Obviously, we were massively in the shadow of the movie because we did the premiere stage version of Buddy's song, and I'm not sure if it's been done since. I think it has actually, but I don't know what happened. But actually, yeah, of course, it opened doors. I stayed at the theatre where we did that at the New Vic in Newcastle under Lyme in Stoke-on-Trent.
Yeah.
I stayed there for about 4 seasons. I did Shakespeare and straight plays after Buddy's song, which is quite strange because the great Peter Cheeseman, who was the artistic director there at the time, said, "Oh, I like this guy who's playing this young lad in the band."
Right.
And it did open doors, of course. And then my theatre career, which is largely what I've existed as a theatre actor. So now, in these circumstances, I'm sort of involuntarily retired.
Yeah, well,
until
yeah,
further notice.
Me too, mate. Which is
Yeah,
why we're both here on Zoom.
Exactly. Yeah.
Bob, how do you think the show's going so
Oh,
far?
yes. This boy's a fool. What do you think of it so far? All the right notes, but not necessarily in the right order.
Yeah. I love. Have you got the little button there that you're pushing with it?
Yeah, I've got buttons here. Well, actually, there's 2 of us doing it. I've got Dave, who's Mission Control in Birmingham. He's literally running the whole show, and I've got a few buttons that I'm. He's got his script in front of him there.
You've turned into sort of like a poor man's Kenny Everett. That's really what's happening here, isn't it?
Oh, could I do the leg thing? Could have done it in less passable taste.
Love it. But listen, I must say, the whole link, I don't know if you're going to move on to this, but the whole link between Buddy's song on stage and Buddy's song in the movie and us knowing each other really is to do with the wonderful Nigel Hinton. I'm sure you're going to mention it.
Yes. Well, Nigel is here, and I'm going to bring Nigel on in a little bit. So we're going to hear from the man himself. Nigel obviously wrote, this is why we're all here. It's because of Nigel.
Yes.
So yes, that is our link.
Oh!
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's another link. Oh, because I saw you. I had the pleasure of seeing you perform one-man show Morecambe, about Life and Times of Eric Morecambe, which is obviously where that little video came from there, I guess. Could you, before you disappear on us, Bob, do you think you could do a little ditty for us?
Oh, what, from Morecambe?
Well, I mean, whatever you want to do. I just want those folks at home to see you in your genius.
Well, when we originally spoke about doing the Buddy song special, I think I pestered you to say, "Oh, can we do a number from the film? Or, like, get all the cast from the theatre and all the cast from the movie and just all do one big jam." And you were like, Bob, I'm not sure that technically that is possible because just one song with 2 musicians is hard enough. Yes. So I do feel that this is slightly shoehorned in, but I'm very, very happy to play the very first song that Eric Morecambe auditioned for Jack Hilton many years ago in the end of the 19. I think it was 1937, 38, around that time, and he was dressed as a schoolboy. So picture, if you will, dressed as a schoolboy with a little kiss curl, the little round glasses, and he still had the cheekiness. And he did this song called "I'm Not All There." I'm not all there. There's something missing. I'm not all there. So the folks declare. They call me Loopy, nothing but a great big booby. Point and say that's where you need it, but that's just where I've got it. I know they think I'm slow. Let them think, I don't care. Oh, sometimes I run errands for the folk up on their grange. With a £5 note, they trust me. Perhaps you think that's strange, but they never call a policeman when I say I've lost your change, 'cause I'm not supposed to be all there.
Bob.
Oh!
Hey,
He got the job. He got the job, needless to say,
Of course
and then
he
went
did.
on to
Of
meet
course.
the wonderful Ernie Wise, and the rest is history, as they say. But yeah, you could say that Mr. Nigel Hinton and yourself and a whole buddy song gambit led on to that in my career. So massive thanks to you guys. So yeah, huge.
Oh, mate, thank you for being here, and thank you for that. That was a treat. I appreciate you being here, Widow Twanky. You are the man, and soon I will see you on a boat. That's what I'm hoping.
You certainly will. We'll
Glass of
lift
wine, looking over the Thames.
We'll lift one of these, and I'm loving all these songs tonight, buddy. I'm sure, buddy. See, look, I'm writing character.
See what you did there, accidentally.
I really am loving all these songs. It's bringing back all the memories because we did the theatre version in 1994, so not long after you did the movie. So it's brilliant. Keep going, mate. I'm loving it. And
I will. I'll do this next one for you then. Thank you, mate.
Yes, please. Oh, thank you so much.
This is one of the songs that I had the privilege of writing the music for, to Nigel's lyrics, of course. And it ended up becoming. I'm picking up a guitar. I have no idea. This is a piano song. Ended up becoming the third single from the soundtrack, and this was requested by Rachel Davies, and this is "Secrets of the Heart."
Looking glass, do you see what I see? Someone standing there who looks a lot like me. I know that I know those dark brown eyes, but it's not me. It's only a disguise. All the secrets of the heart are never really shown, and even standing side by side, we still live so alone, I love that girl. I thought that she loved me, but I found the words can lie so easily. She seems so close, and maybe I'll never know what I must do to help me understand all the secrets of the heart never really shown, and even standing side by side, we still live so alone now. We reach out. The heart is a mystery that's never shown until we know ourselves. We must turn back, and maybe I'll never know what I must do to help me understand all the secrets of the heart are never really shown, and even standing side by side, we still live so alone,
Thank you all. So nice to see the hands. This is how we clap, by the way, and I can see you all. Look, yay! Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, so some of you may know who this next gentleman is. I might be going a bit far calling him gentleman, to be honest with you, but he has been one of my Bezzy mates since we met at Abbey Road Studios. where he was assistant engineer for the Buddy Song sessions. We've been through a lot together over the years. He actually has an amazing memory, so remembers much more than I do. So shall we pick his brains? Shall we? Shall we? Let's welcome my old mate, Ash Alexander. Are you there, mate?
I am. I'm
Hey,
hoping
mate.
you can hear me. Hello. Are we working?
Yes, we are working. I hear
We
you,
are
you
working.
hear me, they hear us. So I guess in that case, we are on.
So the world is working. The world is working.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
a good thing. Lovely to see you. Thanks for inviting me on.
You
I'm not
too,
sure
mate.
about my memory working as well as yours, but
Oh no, yours.
perhaps it
You
does.
always. Well, you always come up with stories from back in the day that always amaze me. That they just, I think maybe you wrote them all down. I mean, you did.
I did.
Ashley did show me earlier on this week, his diary from 1990, wasn't it? And he's got literally.
Yes, here.
He's got like May 1st, one and only Buddy Song vocal for Chesney. Or Nick
Do you want me to
Kershaw
show you?
Well, go on then. This is why you remember everything, isn't it?
Oh, I can't find it now. You've said that. but Yeah,
They'll
there's like.
they'll just have to believe you. It's in there.
Yeah.
I can't
put it in
believe
your-
you still have it all. Now,
Oh, I've got a lot of my old diaries of a lot of things that I've used in the past. But all these things are logged in my brain. I can visualize seeing you for the first time. I remember meeting you, and I remember Studio 2 where it was down as a Roger Daltrey session. So we were like, oh, this is cool. Got Roger Daltrey coming in, and we've set Studio 2 up with. There was a booth for the drums. And Gareth Cousins was engineering, and so he gave me the setup sheet as you do, and went down and set up.
For those of you that don't know, is very, very famous for the Beatles. Obviously, Abbey Road's famous for the Beatles, but Studio 2, if you've ever seen the pictures, is the big room.
Yeah, it's it's Wembley. If you play football, you go to Wembley, etc.
Yeah, if you're recording.
Anyway, so and if you're a singer or a player or engineer or anything, this is like a place you've got to try and visit. And of course, you did. So for 3 weeks, we did. There was as the 22nd of January. It was 1990, and
I would have been recording the actual the music.
That was
for
the
film.
soundtrack.
So it was kind of musicians playing live rather than a full produced. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So you came in, and there was a drum booth. There was a station for the guitars. There was bass. So Clem Clempson played guitar. Dave Bronze played bass. Can't remember the drummer. And this little skinny neck Ches came in. And I felt really nervous for you because you were like, hello. And we were in this booth, and you had ceilings, and I'm looking at a picture of it now, which I'll show you in a minute. But I remember saying, "This is the mic, and you just stand off, and you're going to be cool. It's going to be fine." And then you did however many tracks there were in that 3-week spell. Did 2 weeks in Studio 2, went to mixed it in Studio 3.
Yeah.
And then in April, I think you came back. We did 12 weeks.
These Ash Alexander details are just amazing. Like
useless information.
Yeah.
Well, you seem to like it. You seem to be like you want to know more, don't you?
No, I do. I mean, I do. I'm not sure everyone else would know like exactly what happens day per day. But I, to me, that was it's such an amazing time. And like, I remember going into that studio to do the one and only vocal. Obviously meeting Nick Kershaw was a huge thing for me. And Nick was the same because I had to. Obviously, reading through it, it's all the memories are there. But I took some notes, as one does. But there was 9 days over a month. The one and only was recorded in amongst all the songs for the album and all the songs, for the LP. Yeah, a lot of them, all of them are re-recorded. And do you want to see an old picture of us in the day?
No.
Yeah, let's just. Go on,
not really. No.
There you go. That was us, probably at the studios, actually, probably at Abbey Road. So we were like, Ash and I
were going on in my barnet?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's not far off of what's happening with yours now, but we.
Well, that's lockdown. I've got an excuse for that.
Gold clippers. I think we instantly hit it off, didn't we? Because we're similar age, and we were like the silly kids at the back, But we've been through so much, Ash. I mean, that was obviously the beginning, and you toured America with me, and I mean, I think you're the one person that I've met more famous people with. We've met. George Michael together, we've met Paul McCartney together, Pete Townsend, obviously. I know you worked with Pete, and
tape op at Eel player, and then went to Abbey Road for 5 years. So a lot. owe a lot to
So
Yeah,
much.
you asked me earlier about what advice I give myself.
Yes, go on.
A
That was a
17-year-old
question I was going to
boy.
ask you. Yes, go on.
That's the one you were going to ask me next, wasn't it?
It was
And,
next in my list.
Yeah. You see, I don't know if I would, because I seem to have got so lucky and blagged it somehow, and I knew what I wanted to do when I was 12. So I bought a Queen album at 10. Knew I wanted to work in studios, and I went to Eel Pie, Abbey Road. Got to work with Queen.
I thought you were going to say, got to work with Chesney Hawkes.
Chesney Hawkes.
Amazing.
No, that was next. And obviously, and Nick.
Yeah.
And then subsequently, I would have said to myself, don't worry about stuff at 17. All these things you want to do, you're going to do. So I got my name on a Queen album. I got a gold disc, which was, it actually said, I clearly said to you, don't forget mine, Ches, I want a gold disc out of this. And you must have said something, but you said, don't forget Ashley Alexander's. Right? And it came on, and there's an S on the end of my name.
Oh, that's
to this
right.
day,
that's
yeah.
Right.
Which makes it even more special and unique.
Ash, I could sit here and talk
go,
to you all day
go speak
this.
to everyone.
I really could, but we're 15 minutes behind, and I love you dearly. I really do. And but unfortunately, we're going to have to move on. But first of all, do you remember when we met Freddie Mercury's mum? I know. Oh, he's speechless.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
That's the whole story, because you gave me the pass to get back in, and you've made friends with the guy in the door, and we got in, and you were like, Ash, come. So I came up and said hello very quickly. This is Freddie's mum. And I said to her, this is before I worked, obviously. This is we could go forever. You best go.
We could.
Otherwise, we'll go on forever. And
We'll
that time and that other thing.
All right, go on, bugger off.
Thanks, Dave. And also thanks, Nigel, for writing Buddy Song, because if you hadn't, we wouldn't have done all that.
We certainly all wouldn't be here now, would we?
Yeah,
we'll
our universe has collided. Take care, mate.
Take care, Ash. I'll see you soon, mate.
Bye, all. Take care.
Okay, thank you, Ash. One of the things I love about Buddy Song is the Teddy Boy culture and the music from the 50s, because I grew up in a rock and roll household, to be honest. Buddy Holly was an idol of mine and of my dad's, obviously. His music was always playing in the house, as well as all the rock and roll greats like Gene Vincent and Little Richard and Jerry Lee Lewis. So thanks, Dad, for that. I don't know if he's here today, but so for me, playing with the boys in the film, the Teddy Boy Band, was a real treat. And this song was the one that I got to sing with them. And this was requested by Lisa Jordan. So a bit of Say Mama.
Say mama, can I go out tonight? Say mama, will it be alright? They got a rockin' party going down the street. Say mama, can't you hear that beat? Whoa, 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 whoa. Say mama, don't you look that way, 'cause I know just what you're gonna say. Well, mama, now don't get mad. You're gonna say, well, ask your dad. Whoa, 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 whoa. Say, mama, don't you look that way, 'cause I know just what you're gonna say. Well, now, mama, now don't get mad. You're gonna say, well, ask your dad. Whoa, 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 whoa. Go, go, Johnny, go. Go, Johnny, go, go, go. Go, Johnny, go, go. Woo, got it, Johnny, be good. Johnny, be good. Say, mama, don't you look that way, 'cause I know just what you're gonna say. Well, now, mama, now don't get mad. You're gonna say, well, ask your dad. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, I said, whoa, whoa, yeah, whoa.
How fun. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Talking of mummers, I would like to introduce you to a highly acclaimed actress who has appeared in hundreds of TV, film and theatre productions throughout her career. Not to mention is my favourite on-screen mum. Let's hear it for Sharon Duce. Are you there, Sharon? I'm so excited. The tension, the tension. I can't take it. Oh, look, she was in the loo. God bless her. Sharon, unmute yourself. She's like, I don't know how to do it. That's my impression of Sharon.
But how did you know I was in the loo? Who told you?
I know these things.
I can't
I
even
love because I knew that would happen. That the moment I was going to pick on you,
a bladder only lasts so long.
You were going to run to the loo. Of course, that was going to happen.
I've been sitting here all that time. In 1 minute, I think I've got to have a pee. There you go.
Of course.
What have I missed? What have I missed?
Oh gosh, well, it's been
look
a
at
triumph
the candle
so far.
behind you. The candle behind you is setting fire to the sofa. Got you, got you.
Oh, thank you, Sharon. I've missed you. I've missed you so much. Oh, it's so nice to see you after all these years. Thank goodness for Twitter. I tracked her down on Twitter, everyone. Isn't that ridiculous? We haven't seen each other for probably over 20 years.
Oh, don't.
Probably
But it's
more.
not right because you don't look any different. I'd have recognised you if you'd called by with a, I don't know, a charity box. I'd have said, you're so, you haven't changed. It's what's the name of the guy with the portrait in
Dorian Gray.
Dorian Gray.
Yes,
You must have been told that so many times.
Yeah, I think I've just got good genes, you know.
Yeah, because your dad looked young for a long, long time, didn't he?
Yeah, he still looks well, and he's been through a lot less than the old man, and he still looks great.
You look like him. I didn't realise, because I was researching all this, I didn't realise how much you look like him when he was your age. Does that make any sense, what I just said?
Yeah, of course it makes sense. Yeah. He had more facial hair, although I do have kind of corona.
No, but I mean, when you were doing Body Song, I didn't know I couldn't remember what your dad looked like then, but you were identical. I mean, I know it's silly because, you know, like father, like son, but not all children look like their, my daughter doesn't really look like me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, sure. No, I'm
always carbon copies.
He actually had a little mini cameo appearance in Buddy Song. He played an assistant engineer at the studio,
really?
And he came in and he said, "Eric, that damn console in C's gone down," and then he walked out. My kids saw it and they were like, "Was that Gamps?" They call him Gamps.
Oh, that's funny.
Now, Sharon, there's a few things I remember very well about playing Buddy. In particular, two very prominent slaps. Do you remember that?
I remember slapping your face and feeling terrible about it.
Yes.
Yes,
so you should.
Did you have to do more than one take? You had a red cheek, didn't you?
I did. And for those of you that need a little refresher, check this out.
No, don't.
Listen, you should be proud of your schoolwork, not try and hide it.
I'm not trying to hide it. It's just...
What?
Well, it must be really hard for him in that...
Oh, of course it's hard. Whose fault's that?
It's my fault!
It's not! It's his! You are not to blame!
Oh, dear.
Oh, my
She
goodness.
handled that very well, did she?
Well, listen, before we go further, should we compare the slaps? Here's Roger's.
God.
Don't be angry.
Why should I be angry? After all, Mum's got Adrian Mandel, hasn't she? No, you don't like that, do you? Yeah, she's knocking him off every night.
Shut your mouth.
Now you've picked up this tart.
Jeez.
I think there was some sound on that one, wasn't there?
Well, I was thinking that, like you know, the sound designers went to town. It's probably like two befores, you know, big old.
Yeah.
I know, crazy.
You do realise if this was Sweden, we'd have both been in jail for hitting our child.
I did. You know what? You both did actually hit me because Roger definitely did. He even on the screen test, because that was the scene I did for the screen test.
Oh, wow.
And I think that's why I got the part, because I was actually crying. I wasn't acting. But yeah, I definitely had a red face on one side of my face. Anyway.
Oh my
I think should we bring in the guy whose fault all this was, who started it all off?
Yeah.
Nigel Hinton, you're responsible for those slaps. What do you have to say for yourself, mate?
They weren't hard enough. They kept you in order anyway. Hi, Sharon.
Hi, Nigel. I have to
see
tell you, I was I've watched it for the first time in God knows how many years, and I watched it in two halves. And when I was watching the second half, I was really getting into it. And I have to say, because when you're in a film, it's not the same. You're not looking at it in the same way. I mean, this far forward is quite different. And when it got to the point when they got the King studio, I know we filmed that in Pinewood with the neon, yeah, and Roger's there with Mike Elphick, and we're all standing round to congratulate him that he's got this video studio at last, and it means that Buddy's got the I felt goosebumps.
Oh, great.
I thought, wow, that's what the audience must have had a bit of that when they saw it. I thought, wow, that's good storytelling. I've never said that to you because you're so busy involved in the film and when you're doing it, but the arc of the story and that, it all came together at the end, and it was a really good feeling.
Great.
Oh, that's wonderful. I have to say, it's nice that I've got you two here, actually, because you two were hugely supportive throughout the whole process for me. As a young actor, a novice, I mean, I'd never acted before in my life. I felt like I was a little bit thrown in the lion's den at times, with a lot of, successful and, prominent actors around me. I was very grateful to both of you, and also to Michael Elphick, who sadly is no longer with us, of course. And he was very kind and supportive to me too. I don't know if I've ever said that to you guys. I want to, thank you for helping me through it.
I think it's because we recognise talent.
Yeah.
Isn't it, Nigel? And you cherish talent.
Well, bless you for saying that. Thank you. So, should we bring our third member of the cast in here?
Yeah.
I'd like to bring my best friend on screen and off for the last 30 years, Paul Mckenzie.
Where is he?
Macca, as we like to call him. We've been friends for 30 years now, so we could probably do a show just on our stories, but it would have to be post-Watershed. So let's bring him on. Hey, Macca.
Oh, hello, how are you guys? All right?
Yeah, you.
He looks another one that hasn't changed. Neither is you, Nigel. Is it just women that get old? I don't.
You look gorgeous. You're just fishing for compliments.
I'm not.
Amazing, Sharon. You still look amazing.
You know what I remember about you?
Go on.
Am I allowed to say this on this?
As long as it's not naughty. My wife's upstairs watching, so better clean.
No, it's not naughty. It's not naughty. What I remember having an argument with you is in the caravan, wherever we were, when we were filming. And you started to go on about European football. And I thought, and I was such an English football fan. I couldn't bear hearing about all these European football. You kept saying it's wonderful. And I kept saying, what's wrong with English football? You said nothing, but do you know about this? And now I support Borussia Dortmund, Jules Gordon, Hammarby, and Barcelona. And when I knew you were going to be on this, I thought, wow, he was ahead of his time, that guy.
That's the story of my life, Sharon. Story of my life.
Macca, do you remember the first
moment?
Ahead
of your time.
Macca, do you remember the first moment we met?
I do indeed. It was literally first day of rehearsals, and I tell everybody, it was Roger Daltrey that introduced us. I came into the green room, and Roger said, "Come here, follow me," and he marched me down a set of corridors, down a maze, and he threw me into a room with you. He went, "Chesney, over here." And honestly, word for word, he literally said, "Ches, this is Macca," and he didn't even call me Paul or Mckenzie. He said, "This is Macca. Macca, meet Ches. You two play best friends in the film. Get to know each other." And that was nearly 30 years ago, and we finally got to know each other, didn't we?
Well, I mean, just to kind of emphasise what good mates we are and have been forever. Like my daughter is Paul's goddaughter, and vice versa for his daughter. I mean, we're best men at each other's weddings. I mean, you know, it goes on and on. We really could do a whole show.
Just like me and Roger. Just like me and Roger.
Just like you and Rog, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I'm godmother to all his trout fishing. I've got all these trouts are all my godchildren. It's exactly the same. So where does Macca, or Paul as I know him, live?
He's in
I'm in East London.
He's in London.
Quite made the heights of Chesney, and so I couldn't afford to leave East London. Chesney got to move to LA. I got stuck in a Victoria Park. But, you know, we still have a transatlantic friendship.
Wrong with Vicky Park. Nigel, I wanted to ask you a question here. What about us? Was it that you think, because you were very involved in the casting, and are we, the three of us here, what you imagined when you were writing the parts? Is it, you know, are we what you imagined?
I'll go to the toilet now. I'll go to the toilet in case you wanted Alison Steadman.
No, I have to tell you the truth. When I was writing Buddy's song, it was just after we'd filmed Buddy. So I was kind of seeing in my head the people who'd been in Buddy, but they weren't going to be in the film of Buddy's song. And when we started casting, yeah, I mean, it was obvious when we met you, Ches, and you, Sharon, that you were the ones. And I have to say that once you were cast in the role, I stopped thinking about what the other people had been, and you became Buddy and Carol.
Yeah, and so, I mean, gosh, there's so many stories from the film. Macca, do you remember the rap party, mate?
I do remember the rap party. I mean, you've got to remember, and this is a quick lead up to the rap party. I'm a mod, remember, so work with Roger Daltrey was a huge deal for me. I mean, you know, that could only be topped by working with Paul Weller. So working with Roger Daltrey was a great experience. Making the album Abbey Road, being a big Beatles fan, that was amazing. But the rap party, meeting your mum was amazing, because being naughty little boys, we were around the back having a little bifter, being naughty. And Roger found us, and then Roger came outside. He was just wandering around, and he said, "What are you two doing back there?" And we, like, you know, little schoolboys, we hid it behind our back. We're like, "Nothing." And he just sniffed in the air, and he went, "What's that smell?" And we just said nothing. And then he took it from me, from behind my back, took a massive inhale, and went, "I've had more of these than you've had hot dinners." And then that's what walked off. And we just looked at each other and thought, "Oh yeah, this is the guy who used to hang out with Keith Moon." He probably did. And we sort of giggled to ourselves. And, you know, Roger started our body song experience and he ended the film experience. And then our friendship just, you know, we connected with the Beatles, we connected with Prince, connected talking and sharing experiences. And like you say, that's a big deal. Best men at each other's weddings, godfathers to each other's children. You know, that's 30 years of love, advice and support. And Nigel, thank you for making that happen. It was very forward thinking of you to cast a black guy as his best friend, 30 years ago? If we're talking about that, it was a real progressive move by you. We had great fun. Ashley, just thinking about Abbey Road, you know, those 6 weeks, like Ches said, I really didn't understand what it meant until like 20 years down the road. You know, we were in Abbey Road for 6 weeks where some of the greatest music ever conceived got made. A whole experience, and then, you know, Ches, Chrissy, the whole, it's been a good thing. A slightly doors moment, Nigel. Imagine if I never got a part. Imagine, you know, sometimes you could do that and you really think, wow, if that never happened, But Nigel, thanks for writing it. Thanks for making it happen. And Ches, Ash, Sharon, it was an amazing experience.
And Paul, we worked together again later. Do you remember?
Yes, I do.
On Collision Course. And that when we were making that, the one and only became the #1 hit while we were making it. Yeah. So we were all thrilled to bits because we had a #1 hit. Well, Chesney had nothing to do with it. We had the #1 hit.
It's not hard work.
just a small part, you know. But looking back at the film, Nigel, I was quite amazed at the similarities to my life. You know, like my mum's name's Carol, so was Buddy's. Yeah. My father grew up on the Britwell estate in Slough, which is where we filmed, where Terry was, and my father managed my early career. We're both named after famous people, and my favourite is there was a mirror on the ceiling in my parents' bedroom. Shh.
Oh, right. Oh, really? I love that moment in the movie where Michael Elphick goes in, points to the mirrored ceiling. And Sharon, you looked really shocked.
Brilliant. Prissy, wasn't she? Yeah, Carol was a bit prissy. Actually.
Yeah, she was a bit. It was brilliant.
She learned her lesson though, didn't she, with Adrian? She realised he was a bit boring.
Indeed, indeed.
She didn't go to New York.
Obviously, we're missing one person here. Roger would like to have been here. Said he's sorry he couldn't join us, but he did send over a message via Nigel.
Hello, Chesney. I hope you're well, mate. Just thinking that it seems like yesterday, but it was 30 years ago that we were starting to film Buddy's song, and it was great working with you, mate. You're a bloody good musician, and I hope the family are well. I hope you're doing really well in your career. Give my love to Sharon and Paul. I know you're speaking to them later, and wish you all the best for the future, mate. Be lucky. All right. Here's Nigel gonna fuck it all up.
I had to let it run. Thank you, Rog. Classic rock star moment there. Amazing. Okay, before I wrap up with you guys, let's dish the dirt a little bit. Everyone loves a behind-the-scenes story, a funny story, maybe blooper or whatever. We'll start with you, Nigel. Do you have something?
Well, all I could think of is that when you mentioned Teddy Boys, do you remember that I was actually in the movie as a teddy boy?
Yes, I remember.
Well, I have photos.
Oh, that's amazing. That is amazing.
Gosh.
And me with Roger.
That's so good. That's wonderful. There was quite a few little cameo moments because we had Bill Kerbishley, who was the manager of the Who. He had a little cameo. We had Roy Baird had a cameo moment.
Yeah.
And my dad, obviously.
And Brenda.
And Brenda too. Yes, of course.
Yeah.
At the desk there. Yeah. All right, go on, Sharon. Give us yours.
I don't have one.
You told it. You slapped me.
Well, yeah. All I know is I felt really bad about it because we should have had a stunt person, or we should have had somebody to show us how to do it. But we didn't. And I'm a bit. I like reality and truth. So you got whacked. I'm sorry to say.
I did.
But I felt terrible because ideally, you should have a stunt person in that situation. And I've been caught short in other things like that when you've not had instruction, like jumping through sugar glass windows without knee pads. You don't want to know, but you know what I mean. It looks like on the script it looks quite simple, but it isn't. You shouldn't have got. I felt terrible. I really did, because I know I wasn't your mother, but we had a really good relationship, you and I.
We did.
And it must have been in the script that I got angry. And also, I want to apologise now. And it happened all that time ago.
It's been 30 years, Sharon. What took you so long?
And I still feel bad about it. And I know why I did it. I'm going to apologise to you now, but because you said it was all your fault. And I didn't want you to think that your stupid father, that you were responsible for him and his bad behaviour. You know, because I didn't want you to feel guilty. And that's what teenagers do. And that's what's good about the script. Is that teenagers,
I love your performance.
They take on the angst of their parents and they think their parents are splitting up and it's something they've done wrong. So I can see why Nigel wrote that. I just wish it didn't hurt you. So I'm still apologising.
It's all good. You know, I think you were great in that scene. And all the drama stuff, you were so good. I love that, Mary. You were not to blame. So good.
And I feel like that with my own son in some ways, but I haven't quite got round to hitting him yet, thank God. I've learned not to do that. But Nigel will know what I'm talking about because he wrote it, that if teenagers' parents are splitting up, they take the blame a bit. They think, what was it I could have done to have kept them together? That's why Buddy's song works, because Buddy is in conflict. And you played that so well, because you didn't overplay it, Chesney. You felt it in your heart. You didn't do all that overacting business.
Oh, well, thank you. Macca, what about you? Do you have a story?
But my story was the epilogue to the Roger story. So after the Roger, we were like, oh God, Roger's cool. I to your mum for the first time, and I thought, you know what, Carol's going to hate me. She's going to be like, oh my God, this boy from East London, he's introduced drugs to my son. It's horrible. He's going to keep away from the house. And she did the actual opposite. She was like, oh, bloody glad someone's finally met him and going to rough him up a bit. He's too much of a boy, too much of my mummy's boy. And I just fell in love with Carol after that. She was amazing. Again, she's been like a mum to me. If we're having a big mum loving, Carol over the last 30 years has been an absolute store. And, we love her dearly. She's been a great, great friend to me. And she's every time I go to your house with my wife and with my kids, her doors and her table's always open. And the Hawkes' family, me and your dad, my God, what a relationship we've got. Yeah. Me and Chip, and every time I see Chip, I'm like, Chip, tell me that story from the 60s. And he'll wheel them out. He's brilliant. So the whole Hawkes experience, your brother's amazing, your sister's lovely, and I don't think in 30 years we've ever had a cross word. So
no, we haven't,
what a
mate.
strong friendship we've got.
It's about time we do, eh?
So, Chesney, what football team does Macca support?
Well, he's
Macca's
a Tottenham man, unfortunately. I'm a West Ham boy, so we do. That's the only time, actually, isn't it, Macca, that we suspend. We always send a text, right? We're going to suspend our friendship now for 90 minutes.
And Ches, just before I sign off, can I just quickly thank Hayley for sending, I know she sent you some masks, just thank her for sending me some masks. And Jennifer, who's watching the concert, who's been a massive Buddy Song fan. It's her first Zoom concert, and I know you're going to shout her out later, I should say, but I want to give her a quick shout as well.
No worries, I've got my Hayley mask on right here. Thank you, Hayley. And thank you, Macca. Thank you so much. I love you, mate. And thank you, Nigel. I love you too. And Sharon, I love you. It's the loving. Thank you guys for being here. Amazing. This has been so fun. And let's move on, shall we? The next song was requested by Michelle Murphy, one of our previous nominated heroes. She's a firefighter in Scotland. And I'm going to play Feel So Alive. Never guessed that it could happen. Came like a bolt out of the blue. I was alone and so lonely. Turn around and saw you. Music loud and your eyes smiling. It seemed to tell me what to do. It was so easy and so natural. I knew I'd leave there with you. Took you to wake me, took you to make me. You make me feel so alive. Took you to shake me, took you to take me. You make me feel so alive. Yeah. We lost track of all the hours, drinking wine in that cafe. And there was so much to laugh at, 'cause we had so much to say. Walking slowly through the city, we were sheltering from that shower of rain. The moon and the stars on the river all seemed to dance into my brain. Took you to wake me, took you to make me. You make me feel so alive. Took you to shake me, took you to take
make me feel so right.
Thank you, thank you. Let me see those hands. Woo! Oh, it's wonderful. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Perfect, Ches. I've got a couple of questions for you.
Okay, bring them on.
All right, so the first one is from Fliss Tunnard, and she wants to know, what is your favorite line in the film?
What's my favorite line in the film? Oh, yes. There's a scene where Terry comes out of prison. Two actually, but this one in particular, where Terry just comes out of prison and Des King picks him up in his Jag, and he says, "Welcome back to the wicked world."
Welcome back to the wicked world.
Come on, that wasn't a bad impression of him, was it? Welcome back to the wicked world.
You did that really well. Sorry, I meant favorite line, but you saved that, so thank you. Because the next question is from Gemma, and what's your favorite scene?
Oh, so good job I got it written down in front of us, isn't it?
Thank God.
For me, definitely, my favourite scene was the making of the video for Nothing Serious in the scrapyard. It was the one time where we all got to kind of let loose and just have a bit of a laugh and have fun. You know, obviously there's a lot of drama and stuff, and for me, it was full on. Obviously, I was starring in the film, so I had a lot on my brain, a lot to remember, and I remember that scene really well because we were just miming to the track. And just having a giggle, you know, like just playing with scrap metal and just mucking about, really. So, yeah, that was definitely a good moment. I'm sure that the boys in the film would probably, say the same things. We had Lee Ross and Nick Moran, and Colin Peel, the drummer, and it was just a good laugh. We all got on really well. So, how's that for an answer?
I think that's a wonderful answer. I think it's probably one of my favorites too. And finally, we have a question from Tom, and he wants to know what the whole Buddy song release process was like.
The release process? Well, I think it was very synergistic that when the one and only became such a huge success, it was an opportunity for the film to do well and to capitalise on the promotion. And I think that, you know, the record helped the film, and the film helped the record. So it shows you how music and films can really work hand in hand sometimes. But what was the whole process like? Absolutely crazy. You know, I went from basically playing, you know, piano in the corner of pubs to just, you know, explosion of you know, on all the front covers of magazines, and it was like being in the eye of a storm, you know. It was really a crazy time, but fun. You know, I had a lot of fun. I have great memories of it.
That's great, hon. Thank you. So just so everybody, I know we're running a little bit behind, and I hope you guys are all fine on time. We're going to come into a close here soon, but I just saw something in the chat, and I don't know what time this little one has to go to bed. So Catherine says, please say hi to my son Tully before he goes to bed. So
oh, hey Tully. Good night, Tully. Well, in that case, let's move on. I want to say thank you to everyone for those questions, and sorry if we didn't get to you. I have a special request to mention a particular birthday girl. Her name is Nikki Hudson. It's her birthday on Sunday, so let's all send her some love. Happy birthday. And to all the key workers and the NHS workers that have joined us today, you know, thank you for continuing to go above and beyond and for showing up here tonight. And we appreciate everything you do. Come on, let's cheers to the frontline workers. Come on. Wonderful. We appreciate you, and we want you all to stay well and safe.
There is one person I do need to mention here, honey, because it's, you know, sometimes we always bring out that certain individual, yeah, our hero. And
Hawkes' hero.
Yeah. So
that segment.
This week, this is a very special hero. Oh, I'm gonna get emotional. Her name is Doreen, and we wouldn't be here supporting White Lodge if it hadn't been for Doreen. So we just moved we've been in Chertsey for a little bit, But I remember we were outside Carlo's. I was very pregnant with Indy, and we met her just there on the side, and she introduced herself. She spoke about White Lodge, and she's like, you guys should come and see it. And so we're like, okay, let's go. And in her letter that she sent in, it's just beautiful, and I really wanted just to read it. So she's like, I've known both Chesney and Chrissy since inviting them for a tour to White Lodge, prior to them becoming patrons. I miss their company and not seeing them with their children in Chertsey where we live. We worked together on Chesney's Christmas Cracker. What an amazing nights, great fundraisers, great fun, and that could have only happened with him and his fantastic friends putting in so much hard work. I will never forget him singing Bernard Cribbins, A Joy for Chesney and all of us there, singing with his dad, his brother and sister, and of course Chrissy working beside him. Tony and Ancient Rock well remembered the Chertsey gig for White Lodge when Chesney popped in to surprise everyone. Yet another great fundraiser from a super patron. So Doreen and Tony, sorry, our love and thank you, because White Lodge is a beautiful center, and I remember going there and being pregnant and thinking, if we ever needed support, there was something so close on our doorstep. And you guys have just been fantastic over the time, and we miss seeing you too. So thank you.
Oh, you're getting me going, Chris. Doreen, we love you. Yes, let's have a little for the White Lodge Centre. They're amazing, amazing. Miss you, Doreen. Okay, moving on. I am enlisting my boys again for this next song, and it just so happens to be from my favourite scene in the film that I mentioned a minute ago. For the last 2 weeks, Chrissy and I have been waking up singing this song every bloody day. It is such an earworm. This was requested by Missy Elliott. Hey, Missy. And my lovely Chloe. So we're going to look out for my son. Superstar in the making. You're not going to be able to miss him. You saw him already on the Man Not Boy video, but nothing serious.
Strange that it all meant so much less. Those beautiful moments we shared. Sad to think that every time you held me close, deep inside you never cared. I believed every single word you said to me. I believed every promise in your kiss. I know there were lies you told me, but the lies that I'm really gonna miss. Love's nothing special, no mysterious. Breaks your heart apart. Love's nothing special, no mysterious. Makes burning teardrop store and breaks your heart apart. Friends say that one day I'll get over you. They don't feel the pain, 'cause it's me that walks the street at night. I hope to meet you in the rain. I pray one day you'll come back to me. That goodbye was not for real. Maybe you'll change your mind, put an end to this misery I feel. Love's nothing special, no mysterious. Just breaks you every day. Love's nothing special, no mysterious. It hurts in every way and burns you every day. It's hard when I hear rails we used to play. Think how the good times we had at night. Whenever I think of you, the pain will drive me mad. Try hard to hate you for the things you've done, but those kind of feelings never last. My future's empty for the present, but my heart's still living in the past. Love's nothing special, no mysterious. It breaks you every day. Love's nothing
Thank you. Thank you. Now, it's worth mentioning that not only did Nigel write the book and the screenplay, he also wrote all the lyrics to the songs. So these are all Nigel's songs. Multi-talented man, we love you. Now, to me, this next song is the central emotional point in the film. A song about a boy's anguish about his parents breaking up. And I'm going to play this one for Gemma. Torn in Half.
Telling me your stories, and you're handing me a line. You're giving me a point of view, but you never think of mine. No. Tell me that you love me, and you say I ought to love. Why isn't that you just can't see that I am torn in half? Oh, I know nothing lasts. Oh, but I'm still torn in half. The whole world is divided, seems set to break apart. And now what you've decided is going to break my heart, and I will try to love, but I'm still torn in half. But I am torn in half, yeah. I know nothing lasts. Oh, but I'm still torn in half.
Whew. Thank you. Thank you, guys. I just about got through that one, Nigel. Okay, thank you so much. Listen, it's time for my favourite moment of the show. Let's take everyone off mute. I want to hear all your fabulous voices. Let me hear it all.
Everybody! Hello,
Hey, Chaz.
Amazing!
Oh, Chesney.
I love you, man.
Hey, Sean.
Morning.
Oh. Thank you so much. I love that bit. It's almost like being at a real gig. I feel the love. Thank you so much. Now, I want to thank everyone for being here with us tonight. Thank you to everyone who took part. Bob Goulding, you're a man, the god. Ash Alexander, Paul Mckenzie, Nigel Hinton, the gorgeous Sharon Duce, and of course Roger Daltrey and Michael Elphick. He was there as well. Welcome back to the Wicked World. This is me saying goodnight. Stay safe, and let's all raise a glass to bring in the 3rd decade of Buddy Song. Cheers, everyone. See you next time on the 10th of July. You know where to go. liveandunfiltered.com. I don't quite know what theme I'm going to do for next time. I'm thinking maybe Beatles, maybe Prince, maybe a combination of the two. I don't know. Answers on a postcard, please. info@liveandunfiltered.com. Just give me some suggestions. I'm open for it. I think you all know what's coming up next, don't you? Got to do it. Got to do it. Thank you, guys. Love you all. Thank you. Before I go, I've just realised I forgot to give a thanks to Dave Priest, who has been incredible putting this show together with me. Thank you, Dave. You're an absolute god. And also to my boys, Martin Kennedy, Tom Swan, Jodie Hawkes, they put in so much work in those little videos for you. And of course to Indiana Hawkes, who is the rock star in waiting. Thank you, Chrissy, as well. Love you all. Let's take you off a mute, and we'll say goodnight.
Yay.
Let's roll those credits, mate.
Been a Boy Scout and a choir boy, been a number and a name, a government statistic, been a player